All right, so welcome and thank you for joining the Global Expo, this Global Expo in regards to study abroad and study away programs that are connected to the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. Now, before I begin, let me just say this disclaimer. Despite the fact that these programs are from the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, and I'm gonna just abbreviate it to HSS. These programs are open to all majors, which I will further explain as we move along. So, it doesn't matter what your major is. Doesn't even matter if you don't have a major, right? If you have not declared a major. All of our programs, our study abroad programs, and the study away program, the Cal State DC Scholars Program, which is what we refer to as a study away because it's domestic. It's open to all students across campus. Once again, my name is JC Culver, and I am the study abroad advisor for the College of HSS, and I am one of your study abroad advisors on campus. All right, let's begin. So, the College of HSS in general offers up to 9 experiential learning programs or study abroad programs annually. That number can change depending on the demand and the season, but usually we have up to 9 experiential programs. One program that we offer essentially every spring is our London program. It's what we call a semester program. And we are in fact the only college on campus that offers a program to London in the spring that also allows you to intern, right? Not only would you be taking a set of courses in London, but you would also have the ability to intern. It is a non-paid internship. However, you would be gaining the experience and exposure in the field that you would like to pursue upon graduation. You're there for 3 months. Another positive is that although the spring semester is a 4-month-long semester, you would be done essentially in 3 months. Once the program is done in April, you're pretty much done with your spring semester, and you would have the freedom or the autonomy to do extra traveling, which many students has done in the past. And in the summer, we generally offer 4 to 7 various summer abroad programs, which I'll highlight in the next slide. These are short-term programs, and they're great for anyone who can't afford to take the whole semester off, or you're looking for a less expensive study abroad endeavor or study away endeavor, which you'll see in a couple slides how significantly less expensive these programs are in comparison to the London program. And then finally, our Cal State DC Scholars Program. It's a spring and summer program, and it's great for anyone who would like to get a jump start in your career, as this program revolves around internships, right? So you would be taking a set of courses in our nation's capital, Washington, DC, in conjunction or in addition to interning, for a company or an organization of your choice that relates to the career you would like to pursue. All right, so this is a general list of most of the programs we've offered in the past or plan to offer in the future. So as you can see, there's a pretty nice set of different locations around the world that you could potentially visit by studying abroad through us. So again, in the spring, London is it's an ongoing thing unless we have to postpone it for some reason. But generally, that's a program you would see every spring. It's our signature program. Then the DC Scholars Program also takes place in the spring. And these, again, it's a 13 to 16 week long program. And in the summer programs range anywhere between 2 to 6 weeks. So the DC Scholars Program is offered again in the summer. And then we've sent students to Brazil, Cambodia, Costa Rica, Denmark, France, Germany, as you can see, pretty much all around the world. And we have a few more other destinations that are not listed that you will see in the next slide that we plan to offer next summer. Before I get into that, you may ask, well, why should you study abroad? Especially during these, funny times that we're living in. Well, for one, this is your opportunity to see the world. As we become more, global and internationally engaged, seeing the world is a huge benefit for you. It can be on a personal basis and a professional basis. It's great for personal development. You'd be able to take in a new culture. As I mentioned earlier, these programs are open to all majors. They are led by Cal State Fullerton faculty members, which is a great thing in my opinion, because you wouldn't be going alone. You'd be accompanied by a faculty member who has either been to the destination before, they can speak the language, and they have extensive experience in that particular area of the world, just to enhance your experience, right? So you won't be going with someone who's inexperienced and they have no idea what they're doing. Many of these faculty members, all of the faculty members who you would be going with, they chose this particular destination, and they have the knowledge and experience to serve as a leader and a guide while you are studying abroad with them. In addition to the faculty member, we also partner with study abroad providers, and they basically are there to lay the foundation for us. They set up all your housing, your ground transportation, your field trips. They're also there for security, for safety. They set up insurance, right? So they're basically a second tier of what I like to call a safety net while you are abroad. Another great reason is that you will have the ability to earn 6 units in the summer, up to 6 units in the summer of GE course credit, and up to 12 units in the spring of GE course credit. And that would refer to our London program and the DC program. There are academic field trips included for every program. So I like to say these programs ideally are designed to get you out of the classroom. You will be out of the classroom. And chances are there's not going to be a formal brick and mortar setting, like what you have here. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but hey, you're traveling, and who wants to be sitting in a class for 2 to 3 hours a day when you could be out exploring, which is exactly what you will be doing. It's a safer way to travel, as you would be traveling in a group, right? You won't be alone. There are short-term and long-term programs, as I mentioned earlier, right? The spring there are longer programs, and the summer ranges anywhere between 2 to 6 weeks. There are internship opportunities. This would include the London and DC program. And then reduced program fees, which you will see in another slide to give you a better idea of what I mean. All right, so this is our lineup for 2022. Right, so in the spring, unfortunately, we recently had to postpone our London program because of the pandemic. So hopefully we'll be able to reoffer it in 2023. So for those of you who are interested in that program, you have a lot of time to plan, right? I highly recommend you do some financial planning, also course planning, just to make sure that you don't take the courses the courses that are required for this program before you go, so that when you do go, you have a set of courses that you can take and get credit for. If you don't fully understand what I mean in regards to that, you're more than welcome to email me and we can take it a step further. And I will have my email address and other contact information listed in another slide for you to notate. And then in the summer of 2022, if nothing changes, our goal is to offer 4 programs, one to Vienna, Austria, which would be a 4-week program in Austria. And, for those of you who might not know, Vienna, Austria is one of the major capital, or Vienna is one of the major capital cities of Europe. It boasts high walkability, has excellent public transportation, and it's rich in history, as it is the center of music, arts, and culture. And with this program, you would be exploring all of that while you are there. The goal is for that program the duration should be about 4 weeks. Then we also have a Cambodia/Vietnam, which is a dual program, right? Which is another great program I highly recommend you look into. As with this program, there are many excursions, such as an excursion to a cacao and rice fruit farm and a cacao farm, the Mekong Delta. You'll be visiting museums, cultural exchanges with the Vietnamese university students. There's a street food fair and a community member engagement and more, right? While you are in Cambodia and Vietnam. So with this program, you would travel to Vietnam first, stay there for 2 weeks, and then travel to Cambodia and end the program there for 2 weeks. And then Indonesia, Bali, Indonesia. So during this 28-day program, students will experience Balinese culture while also critically analyzing the environmental, economics, and social impacts of tourism industry in Bali. Students will take trips to the Balinese temples, beaches, traditional healing centers, local markets, and more. And then finally, Yucatan, Mexico, which is on the Atlantic side of Mexico. So this program will provide students with a hands-on experience to learn about contemporary Mayan culture through its rich history, art, music, rituals, and food. Some of the visits that are to be included is a visit to Chichen Itza, which is a pre-Columbian city that was built by the Mayan people. Visit to sacred centers, natural sinkholes, natural archaeological sites, beaches, and a community engagement project in Mexico. This program is scheduled to be anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks. Last year or 2 years ago, it was a 2-week program, but the faculty may want to extend it. All right, so this is what I was talking about in terms of the program cost. Again, unfortunately, we had to postpone London, but if it was going to be offered, if you look under the estimated program fee column, so it's the second to the last column, this is what the program would have cost per student, $65.14 for a homestay or $82.14 for an apartment, which, to be honest, this is about almost a $2,000 difference in comparison to what it would normally cost, right? And this is what I mean in terms of reduced fees. So every year, the college and the faculty make it a point and strive to apply for extra funding, such as grants and scholarships, to put against the program, the cost of the program, to reduce it, in many cases significantly, so that it is more affordable per student. Another example is our Cambodia-Vietnam program. So next summer, it's scheduled to be about $900 per student. And what the program fee includes is it pays for your housing. So in this case, for Cambodia, Vietnam, you would be in tourist class hotels in both countries. There are daily meals, breakfast, I should say, that's provided. Your daily academic field trips, ground transportation to and from your academic field trips, and ground transportation to and from the airport. Indonesia, it's a $2,000 program fee. Now you might say, well, that's a little more expensive than what Cambodia and Vietnam is. Well, realistically, this program had a $3,500 price tag, and we were able to reduce it to $2,000. And the reason why it's a little more expensive is because of there were less funding that we were awarded for this program, but lo and behold, it's still a reduced program fee. Austria, $1,500, right? For 4 weeks, you would be staying in student apartments. And then Mexico, Yucatan, about $1,000. It actually might get cheaper than that. But as of right now, at its height, it's estimated to be about $1,000 per student. The application, there are 2 deadlines here, you'll see. So the first application deadline is December 1st. It's our early application deadline, and applications will be considered and reviewed on a first come, first serve. Since all of these programs are, there's a maximum amount of students who we can enroll, I highly encourage you to apply early just to get your name, on the list. And then finally, the final deadline is March 1st of next year. Now, this is actually incorrect. This says December 1st, 2022. This should actually be December 1st, 2021. So this year. So that's a typo there. And then the final deadline, March 1st of 2022. Requirements. So as long as you have 30 college credits, minimum 2.5 GPA, and in good academic standing, you'll be fine. It's really not that hard to get in, right? I think the hardest part is just completing the application, really. I mean, as long as you meet these requirements, you should be fine. It's rare for us to have to turn away a student. If one, does not meet these requirements, then we'd have no choice but to disqualify them. But if you're coming in with these, minimum requirements, you should be just fine. Just apply early is my recommendation. This is where you can find more program information. So I'll pause here for a second for any of you who would like to take a screenshot of this page. So the hss.fullerton.edu/, that's the URL to our webpage. And then below is my email address, jcover@fullerton.edu. Okay. Now, if you go online to our website, you might notice some programs, the program information is not up yet. That's because we're still building on the program. But as of right now, I believe Cambodia and Vietnam information about that program is up. You'll also notice that an application is not up yet. Well, at this time, it is still pending as we're waiting for final approvals. And hopefully, our goal is to have an application up sometime in October, if not sooner. But if anything, if the website is ready for program, but you still do not see an application, there will be instructions there explaining to simply send me an email if you would like to be added to the interest list. Once you have been added to the interest list, when the application is up and ready, I will send you an email personally letting you know so that you can proceed to apply. And then finally, I'd like to share some information about our DC Scholars Program. Should you enter in DC? Sure, of course. If you have the flexibility, of course, yeah, absolutely. This is a great program where you'd be able to work and learn in our nation's capital while networking with potential employers and alumni to enhance your career opportunities, which is something every student should strive for. It doesn't matter what your interests are or what your major is, there is an internship in DC that will suit your needs. Basically how it works. So we had to offer a virtual program this summer because of the pandemic, but hopefully, again, if nothing else changes, we will be returning back to our on-site program in DC for 2022, starting in the spring and in the summer. If we learn that our spring program has to be postponed, like our London program, because of the pandemic, then you can look forward to a summer program. And here are some of the internships that many of our own students has participated in, such as US Congress, consulting firms, education, museums, federal agencies, media outlets, advocacy groups, nonprofits, law enforcement, education, right? The sky's the limit and the choice is essentially yours. The program director, his name is Steve Stambo. He's really good at helping students connect the dots and bridging that gap to help you acquire an internship, right, while you are there. Again, these internships are unpaid. However, you never know what opportunities could be in store for you. We've had many students after interning for a company ended up staying and working for that same company and just transitioning, to Washington, D.C. just because of that one experience. So you just never know. So if you are interested in this program, here are the next steps. Well, I'd first visit the website. I'll pause here for anyone who would like to take a screenshot. So once you visit the website and get more information, this is where you would also apply. The requirements are the same: 2.5 GPA, 30 college credits, and in good academic standing. And then if you have any questions, you can simply email dcinterns@fullerton.edu. All right, looks like we're out of time on my end. With that said, I will open it up for any questions that anyone might have. Feel more than welcome to just blurt it out or post it in the chat, and I will be here to answer them. Okay, let's see.
Hi, JC. Sorry, I just posted a few reminders on the chat box.
Thank you, Abby. I thought it was a question, but thank you. All right, so we have a question. Does HSS offer fall semester international programs? Out of HSS, we don't offer fall programs. We only offer spring and summer programs. However, there are fall exchange programs that are available, if I'm correct. Abby would be able to answer or provide more insight to that. But as far as programs from HSS, no, we don't offer fall semester programs.
Yeah, to provide a little bit more info on that, we typically do have a few short-term fall programs, but again, because of the pandemic right now, there isn't anything scheduled, but it might be a possibility that next fall 2022, we would. And of course, there's also semester programs that you could do through exchange or non-CSUF, but that would be planning for next fall as well.
Thank you, Abby. Looks like we have another question. Where on the website would we see the courses we'd be taking during each program? So if you can, so as of right now, the only program that's listed with information is our Cambodia Vietnam program. So if you were to go there and just click on the link, Cambodia Vietnam, within that, within that webpage, the courses per each program or for that particular program would be listed, if that makes sense. So basically the courses will be listed per each program's webpage. You will also find the courses listed in the application brochure. So again, once the application is up and live per each program, the courses will be listed. It will be really hard to miss the courses that are attached to each program. In the summer, again, there are only 2 courses that you would be taking. Every program will consist of an HSS 350, right, which is would be considered the life and culture of that particular destination, right? And then the second course is contingent on the faculty's discipline. So for example, for our Mexico program, the first course would be HSS 350, which is a GE, and then the second course would be Psych 379, I believe, which is developmental psychology. You're welcome. Looks like we still have a couple more minutes, so I'll just leave it open to anyone who, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. You can either write it in the chat or just speak it out, and I'm more than happy to answer them. You're welcome.
And just to remind everyone as well that the sessions will be uploaded on our website, and we will send you all an email, and also we will do an Instagram post once those are on our website. Also, this Friday, you will receive a survey. We would really appreciate your feedback. And finally, all of you that joined today will be entered into our giveaway, and I will contact you via email if you are the winner.